Okay, hello, good evening, and every other time in between. Been having technical difficulties since yesterday, so we're starting very late, and this is going to be a bit shorter. But I didn't really want to lose out on another day. So let's hop right into this. Okay, I think everything is good. So welcome to the ancient era. Looks like we got a barbarian fort or a city. Something's happened to that. Gonna have to check it out. So we're just going to get everything nice and fortified. We now have our archers. And a new civilization has spawned. The Aboriginals. Just gonna have to build up our buildings. We now also can build up our scouts. Not scouts, but our workers. Having a permanent workforce will be very, very nice. Improve the island proper. We got a herd of goats for this city. Now we are in the late Neolithic. Gonna wait for all the sound effects to go by real quick. So we're in the late Neolithic. So the ancient era can be widely divided into three primary eras. You have the late Neolithic, you have the Copper Age, which is basically the middle, and then you have the early Bronze Age. Or you can kind of say just the Bronze Age in general, because as soon as you go into classical, you have the end of the Bronze Age because you go into ironworking. Kind of the Bronze Age collapse is like what separates what we refer to in actual history as the ancient era and what we would refer to into the classical era. Basically the time of whenever you think of Greece and Rome and stuff like that would be during the classical. So we have the late Neolithic, the Copper Age, and the Bronze Age in this era. Hunt these. Can't do anything with that myth. Can't do anything with that. At least anything worthwhile. We're getting close in Red Shores to having our first proper world wonder. Stonehenge. See if this turtle next turn is needed in this city. It's going to be in one of these cities where it's going to be needed. Yep, there we go. Can't do anything with the crows, at least that are worthwhile. Now they're putting out gatherers. We've run into another emergent civilization somewhere. Up here. The native Hawaiians. How are we going to do this? Like, I really want to finish that, but we need to do a little bit of a rush. And I imagine that will suffice for holding those cities until we can fortify them better.
The body is a community, made up of its innumerable cells or inhabitants.
Now we have community. And no, we're going to wait until we actually pick up agriculture, and then we're going to have a minor revolution. Snipe off another worker. Let's just see what they're doing. I don't think I'm gonna regret this, but let's have him like stop sniping off all their workers so they can actually improve a little bit. Let's have you just sit right here. Take out this caveman. Take out this other caveman. Put them on sea patrol, that should be fine. Send them over here.
Tell me what to do.
I want you to go to the jungle and hunt. It's always better stuff in the jungle than in the desert. Alrighty. Let's have you just come over here and be a problem. Stonehenge. Skip that turn.
Oh, farmers, pray that your summers be wet
There we go.
and your winters clear.
Now we have agriculture. I might wait for bread making before I actually go into the revolution. Before we actually fully adopt it. And go. So they can have 3. That will have to do. I just want to get these spots taken care of. Because there's just the sheer strategic importance of those little choke points. Mostly because of the Celts, and this city was destroyed. I wonder what did it, though.
Awaiting your orders.
There's gotta be more barbarians nearby. I think we're gonna call this Black Cliff. Simply because of the real rocky and barren terrain on the opposite side. And just down the production route. Now it's a little more important, so we're gonna actually do something different with these. Da-da-da-da-da. Earthen wall. Do it at the end of the production. The first cycle of production buildings. There we go. You're not gonna do what we need. We don't have any real use for you. So now that we have Black Cliff, basically this northern route for a long time, basically, we are not going to have to worry about anybody climbing over these mountains until they have mountaineering. And this is the only pass. So we need to take this one next. Governor's pets. Very nice. Keep on going down. And they're just gonna hold that defensively. We're at least going to finish our settlers before we really do anything with the Oh, we can see Honolulu. Before we change our government to adapt the new ways. Civilization popped up here in the jungle. Ethiopia. Interesting. Bunch of stone spearmen.
The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread.
Cool, let's get these people to the boats.
Yes?
Now, usually in the Neolithic, like outside of like grabbing your like opening little area that you have, doing a rush like this is usually not necessary unless you're trying to get choke points. And then you can sort of backfill as you get some more technologies. Because we're about to get buildings that are going to render a lot of the stuff that we've been queuing up and building obsolete. So it's just going to make those early build queues a little quicker. Let's see if we drop them off at this island, it should be the quickest to get down there. Can't really get anything out of that. Once we have these mountain passes sealed off, we'll basically be able to just slowly grow at our own pace. Unless a barbarian city spawns, and then we'll have to go and destroy it before it matures into a minor civ. Snake Charmer. And we will send them back. Eight turns and we'll have another city. We will have to hunt down some of these lesser peoples in our area. Let's build up our... And when I say lesser peoples, I mean like their scouts and stuff. Which one of these would be for the best? Definitely that one. sniped off another one of their units. Yeah, and all of our trackers and scouts will eventually make their way back when they're on automated so they can upgrade. So this is going to give us a place to actually start upgrading our hunting force to make them more effective. And this is still connected to this river, so we'll still be connected. And they just keep sniping stuff off of the... Head over here so you can upgrade. Now these workers might, if they survive to get over there. Now here's something fairly interesting to point out. Now that there's a city ruin, down here, there's a chance that this will turn into an archaeological site whenever we actually get a lot later on. Because the fun part about this game, archaeological sites will actually show up based off of things and areas that you've been around. Like if you've lost cities, you have a chance of them spawning. Archaeological dig sites, if you've hunted mammoths down to a certain point or took out a really hard animal, it could turn into a fossil bed.
Unless it is visible in the expression of the countenance. One might call the faces at a large assembly of people a history of the human soul, written in a kind of Chinese ideograms.
Library of Nineveh. Starting to get some proper benefits. Let's send this one here. And don't really need that. Because of how we did this. Let's just finish up this queue before it gets too crazy on a backlog. And when we found our next two cities, it'll be so much better. So we're now going to adopt, where is it? Charity. So instead of just survival of the fittest, we're actually helping each other out. But right now it's just out of the goodness of their hearts. And we're going to get small holdings, so basically the first farms. We're no longer hunter-gatherers, and we're actually we're still doing hunting and gathering, but we're now going to be a lot more reliant on agriculture and our farms. This gives us a nice bonus in all of them. We're going to lose a little bit on technology, unfortunately, but we will be okay. So it looks like that just said the Mongolian Empire has shown up. So that's interesting. I wonder where they are. Best thing about having barbarian civs is just how everything slowly... Probably be quicker just to have them come over here.
Awaiting your orders.
Alrighty, what should we name this city?
What do you need? Tell me what to do.
Why is the city view not available? It's because of the marsh. I'm gonna need to do something about that. Like, that's a proper problem. It better not be too far away from our controlled territory, because early on you can't settle too far from areas that you already have. Send you back up here. Now, since most likely any rivals that we're going to have try to come this way is going to come from the desert, so having a... Basically, it'll make it better defensively, because they would have to cross that river and attack a settlement that will tentatively be very fortified. And it'll give it access to a couple of places for agriculture.
Your orders.
Do this all over again. I need and a defensive unit. Archer will do.
Ready for action. We're on it.
Shall we call this? We shall call this Berador. There we go. And it'll be the same thing we want. Do it like this. And then end with an earthen wall. Go to first place to be worked.
Awaiting your orders. All present and accounted for. At your service.
And they need to have grassland and a forest upgrade between the two of them. Oops. Well, you're becoming the new transport ship. pottery.
Hath not the potter power over the clay to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
We now have more elaborate huts, basic housing. There we go, that should do fine for now.
Reporting for duty.
I'm hoping this will let me do it. So with the archer being on top of them, they'll keep the workers from being eaten by wild animals. Have them keep running around. Back on the hunt. Getting some nice stuff around us. Ravenloft is about to grow. Should have the wonder soon. See if we can get the bird dance. I can't remember if we already checked that or not.
Taxonomy is described sometimes as a science and sometimes as an art, but really, it's a battleground.
Yeah, that whole field is just heated. There we go. Alrighty, now it's time to build up. Our first cities are coming along quite nicely. They'll be connected quicker than our outposts, so...
Yes?
Could build a wooden palisade.
Reporting for duty. Ready for action.
And it should become occupied, counting as our territory, which should let us drop the city. And another one. Anything that we could use over here. Before we build the Maui statues, I want to see if we can do it anywhere else. So we'll build up our food for this place.
Awaiting your orders.
Another hunter. Have Ahsoka around us. India is always kind of dangerous in these games because if you see Gandhi, you know it's gonna go crazy real quick. Vulture. Folklore of the Scavenger. Governor's pet? Who doesn't want a pet chimpanzee? I mean orangutan. There's gonna be that one guy on YouTube. That was an orangutan! 3 more turns for the little palisade. Can't get anything really useful out of this, so there we go.
What's the plan?
It's a dude wolf. Let's do it this way. There we go.
What do you need? Present and account.
Still can't.
Awaiting your orders.
Well, it doesn't mean that we can't still hold it, it's just gonna have to be a fort. That's a shame. The pit bog there. How do I get rid of this marsh? Pit bog.
Reporting for duty.
Falling in love is like eating mushrooms. You never know if it's the real thing until it's too late.
Sleep. They can go on their hunts. Some feathers. Feathers. One of those where we're really looking at all of the possibilities. Still along the river. Herd of donkeys. Capybara. Savage creatures. Savage creatures. Capybaras. They're the destroyers of worlds. Okay, right here. We're gonna have the city of... I think we're just gonna call it Rolling Hills, as the area is pretty hilly. And the same thing goes for this. Finish it off with earthen walls.
Ready for action. What's the plan?
Just be around the city itself.
All present and accounted for.
And we're just gonna build a road. Well, a bit of a trail. We'll kind of have this place fortified for a while. Until we can at least figure out a way to take that. Because I forget what technology we need. Worst case scenario, we'll settle a city here. Because it'll still be strategic, because they can only attack from like 4 directions. Because if it's here, they can just get by and surround the city. After they get past that, here it's not completely surrounded, though it would be cut off. But not as bad. Might just go ahead and settle the next city right here. It's a little close, but shouldn't do any real harm. At least I don't think so. And we got through a good bit of technology there. Basically all of the front row has been done. We got bread making and we're on our way down to apiculture. Then going down consciousness and folk music. Basically this whole little area. We're getting there. We might hold off on building extra cities until we at least get the wheel. Or maybe mining. A sailing might be also an idea. That way we can actually ship stuff a lot better. Though sailing wouldn't be too far off. Worst case scenario, we'll wait until the end of the Copper Age. Well, not the end of the Copper, but the beginning of the Copper Age whenever we get copper working. That way we'll have a much more formidable defense force that we can call upon. Which is interesting. We'll have to really see what we end up deciding to do, and we'll decide that tomorrow. I do apologize that this was a shorter stream than usual. I was having some technical difficulties, and same thing happened with yesterday. So hopefully tomorrow, knock on wood, everything will be alright, and we'll be able to really get into what this age really has to offer. And start really building up our cities, have our little fortress cities established proper. Hopefully Rolling Hills doesn't get overwhelmed by the Celts, as it is the closest that we aren't at war with them right now. That's about everything that we can go and do. I will bid you all adieu, and we will see you later, you alligators. Bye-bye now.